What's up everybody, Adam here with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Longview custom fit towing mirrors. As you can see, we have a custom fit to our factory mirror. So this is basically what you get with all the custom fit towing mirrors, but with this one we get a decently big mirror. So it's going to be about 5.5 inches long by 4.5 tall, and we are going to be able to pivot it just like the factory mirror, just to get that exact look that we need for wherever we may be hauling behind us. One thing about this is we are going to be able to kind of fold it in, and we're not really adding any depth to our mirror, so we really don't have to worry about it hitting our glass, hitting our trim, or anything like that. You can kind of notice that the finish is almost identical to our OEM mirror, so I kind of like that. I just like to get that factory look. One thing that doesn't look factory, of course, is just this little hand knob. So we do have some that aren't going to have any pieces that you have to bring with it, and this is snap and zap. I like the snap and zaps because you don't need any pieces. You don't have to keep track of this little knob and the other little piece here. So that's something I really like. But if you're kind of in between which custom fit mirror that you want for your vehicle, I am going to bring them all out just to give you an idea of what your options are. And another one that kind of sets this apart is just the design on the front. I'm not a fan of the design, but somebody may be. This is just basically a unique little feature to the other ones. It just looks like a little bird, kind of looks like flames. So if that's kind of the look you're going for on your truck, you're good to go. So let's go ahead and see how much length we're adding to our mirrors. Basically, it's almost right at 7 inches. So just be mindful of that, especially when you're in some tight parking spots or stuff like that. You might want to fold these in, but again, we're not going to have any issues there. Not only is this going to be for you so you can see those longer loads that you may be hauling, it's also going to be for the contents on there so you can keep an eye on it. If you're hauling dirt bikes or stuff, you want to make sure those things are nice and upright, but also it's going to be for everybody else. The more you can see on the road, the more ease of mind you have, and everybody else on the road is going to be a lot more safe too. Another thing that's nice about all the custom fit towing mirrors is they're going to have a lot more aerodynamic shape to them, so you'll get a lot less wind noise, and they are a decent amount more stable than the universal fit ones as well. It's made of an ABS plastic, so it's not really going to fade over time. It's basically the same exact stuff as your OEM mirror has on it. On the inside, we do have a felt pad, so we don't have to worry about scratching up our mirror. We don't want to really damage our vehicle just by enabling it to do more, so this is really good. And another thing, you just need to grab the right side, and we're gonna have two different pieces, a little knob and a little hook here. So basically the hook's just gonna go on the inside of our mirror and go through this little hole, just like that. And then we take this, line it up, and start to tighten it down. You don't want to overly tighten this because it is plastic threads, but once that is tightened down, it is nice and secure. That's how easy it is. If I were to compare it to any of the other ones that we have, the snap and zap's just a little bit quicker to do just because we don't have any other hardware. It just snaps and zaps on and we're good to go. But this was very, very simple. It's going to be that same exact process on the passenger side. So instead of talking about the comparisons between all the other towing mirrors, I'm going to bring them all out so you guys can get an idea of exactly what your options are. So we're going to go from my least favorite to my favorite. So we did want to throw in a universal towing mirror so you can see how big of an eyesore it is. It's not the most stable option. I just don't like the look, and that's kind of the reason why I pick the custom fit over these, just because it just looks better. It does come with a bigger mirror than some of the custom fit ones, and you do have the option to kind of turn it like this or upright. So that is one thing that is kind of cool with the universal ones, but I'm just not a fan. So let's move on to my second least favorite, and that is going to be these right here. Just because they have a bird on the front, not a fan of that, but if you are, you can go for it. But it slides on, it looks good. I'm just not a fan of the bird on the front. We have a big mirror and it's going to pivot just like all the other custom fit towing mirrors. But another thing I don't like about the front face is not only just the design, but we are going to have a little knob right here whenever we install it. So it's not the cleanest look. And for my second favorite, it's going to be the SEPA. And the reason why I kind of like this one is it doesn't really have any design on the front. It matches the OEM look. It just has a knob here Not a huge fan of the knob, but it's not that big of a knob, so you can't really tell that much. But basically, I like the front, I like the way it looks. Looks pretty similar to factory, but just the knob kind of makes it look like that. And we do have another mirror, of course, it's gonna pivot around. And honestly, we really don't need this big of a mirror to get the view that I'm looking for. I've used all of these, but this is plenty big to get whatever you need. And the winner of all of them is gonna be the Snap and Zaps. Why? Well, there's no knobs on the outside. With this, all we have to do is you kind of just go like this, get it lined up, and then you just snap it down. It snaps into place. We have a smaller mirror compared to some of the other ones, but again, you really don't need a massive mirror to get that view. It's basically just how far out from your factory mirror that really gives you that view. But look at that. That looks OEM to me. You can hardly even tell where the crease comes over here because this bottom line lines up with that. And I just really like this one. This is my favorite by far. Snap and zap, there's no knobs or anything like that. And you just snap it and zap it on and you're good to go. So this is my favorite. So those are all your options. It's definitely gonna be an upgrade from the universal fits, just because one, it looks better, and two, it's gonna be a little bit more aerodynamic. This isn't my first pick, but that's not really up to me. That's just my opinion. So those are your options and you can pick accordingly. And that's basically it for a look at the Longview custom fit towing mirrors.